So I'd like to give you a quick overview how the data flows through the dashboard software. So the dashboard software itself imports data that has been brought in through a series of templates to ultimately create a data sheet. Now that data sheet is imported into a tab at the very right-hand end of the tab set, which is called import data. So the imported data exists here. And for each measure, there's a bunch of data that's brought in. So if I take a look at opportunity spotting, you'll see that what's brought in is actual data for Q1. There's no data, of course, for Q2, Q3, or Q4. And also last year's data, target data, benchmark, and then the thresholds red to yellow and yellow to green. And again, we haven't provided that data. What is provided is then brought into the grouping that uses measure 17, which happens to be F2 CBO1. So here you can see it uses measure number 17, which is called CO opportunity spotting. And it's a grouping, but here's the data that we picked up from that sheet. Over here is a line graph created by that data. And over here is an index chart that indexes actual against target, last year, and benchmark. Now this data itself is part of a grouping. It, at a 33% weighting, along with CC referrals at 67% weighting, gets calculated into the leads tracking referral rates, whose graph is over here. Now this graph in turn is used to populate the dashboards. So first off, we do the grouping. In this case, it groups up with CC1 and CO1 to create F2. So this leads tracking referral rates shows up as one of three elements that contribute to calculate the overall contribute to revenue growth grouping. So now on the L2 detailed dashboard, we can see the leads tracking referral rates, the two children measures that we looked at, and the index chart that's calculated as a result of that. That index chart itself also shows up on the L2 dashboard under the contribute to revenue growth grouping and is calculated into this overall grouping, which shows up on the L1 dashboard, contribute to revenue growth. So in this way, the data starts at the bottom, rolls up to the data page where the indexes are calculated and the groupings and formulas. Those are brought into an informational only tab that gives you that overall grouping. That data is brought into the L2 detailed, L2 dashboard, and L1 dashboard pages. So that's roughly how the data flows in the application.